episode of Dear Van. And as usual, it is me, Vanel, and
Priscilla.
right here to have fun. Because today we have very, very, very important guest here, Dr. and Mrs. Tufua. When you see Doctor by anyone's name, just take it easy and let them do all the talking. And as usual, I personally love it, as I've said severally, when we have um, guests around to do all the speaking, because that's when we get to learn. So we sit down, we learn, we have fun, we just throw in all the questions there. So it's a wonderful afternoon here, and we're glad that you joined us this afternoon. Now, as usual, if you've not shared the page, if you've not followed us, if you've not liked the page, I just don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, really. And so go ahead, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our page on YouTube, and then anytime we come live, you would get that prompt. And so, welcome to the show, Dr. and Mrs. Tufo.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm sure this will be a very exciting one. Okay, so as the tradition is, we'll start from the butterfly stages. And so you're going to run us through how you met, you started this whole journey, and share all the niceties with us. Yep, Frizzy?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. How did you guys meet?
Oh, really? I wanted her to talk. She wants me to talk. So what?
Okay, then I'll
let's start. I'll chip
in. Yeah, the one who made the move first should talk. Yeah.
Okay, so we met on campus in KNU.
Oh, the one who made the move first. Okay.
It just happened.
Then it's me. Okay. So I made the move. So it's interesting. So actually we met on KNU University campus. Yeah. So doing our undergrad studies, I was doing biochemistry and she was doing natural resource management. So interestingly, we were all in Queen's Hall, in KNU University. For the first year, we all go to the halls, and then after the first year, you go and look for your own apartment. So we're all in the same hall, Queen's Hall. And we used to have Pensa meetings, dawn prayers, I think Saturday dawn. Yeah, and I used to see her, but she wasn't my friend anyway. She was in the annex building in Queens, and I was in the main. I remember some time ago, if Prissy will remember, we had a friend called Irene in our class, and she was also in the annex. So there was this water crisis, and I had to help her. I fetched water from the main, and then I went up there. The annex. Yeah, I think she was very close. Her room was very close to Hill. Yeah. So I saw her there. We chatted, but she doesn't even remember. Okay. And so maybe where she'll remember me more was the dawn meetings, but she was not my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one time we went for our dawn prayer meetings, and they asked us to exchange names. So we wrote our names on pieces of paper, and then we exchange. So if any name you pick, you visit that person in the course of the week, at least try and then check up on the person.
Yeah.
So my roommate was also a Pensa member. So she actually picked my roommate's name.
Okay.
And so we were there one time, and then she came and visited. So that was where I saw her close up, came to visit my friend. We chatted and all that. I don't know whether you remember that one too.
I remember that.
Okay.
One.
So fast forward, she was not my friend anyway. We complete first year, we moved second year, everyone goes to their hostel, and interestingly, we all happen to, go to the same hostel too, Splendor Hostel. So I was on the ground floor, and she was almost directly above me.
Okay.
So, and there we also had Pensa meetings. So at dawn, these denominations we have off campus. So for all the off campus areas, they nominate leaders to take charge of the members So we're in Ijuase, if those who know Ijuase in KNUST. So I was the area head, they will call it PENSA area head for my hostel and those surroundings. So I'm responsible for getting people on Saturday dawns for prayers and all that. And she happened to also be to help in that regard. So she was assisting. So that was where the friendship actually developed. So leader and assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was still friendship. But we got closer to each other. I could visit her. She also could visit me. My friends got to know her. Her roommates also got to know me. Now there were times that we were not even attending PENSA meetings together, but at the time I had not made any move, I had not said anything. So it was like casual friends and people helping in the Lord's vineyard. And on campus too, Charlie, if you make loose, there are so many boys who are also around. So at the time, I could also see that the guys were also coming around and all that.
Yeah.
But I had still not proposed anyway. So what happened?
Well, before the proposal, I believe there was an attraction.
Yes.
Okay. Because I just like his personality. I just love everything about him.
Oh.
Because I believe that he should come forward and tell me his intention before I say, okay, somebody that I'm going out with. So in 2008, I remember the year so clearly, and he came to propose to me.
Yeah, I remember the date. I think it was December
11 December 2008.
So this is what actually happened. So so at that time, I also got attracted to her. She was like God-fearing, very smart, very, very peaceable. She's someone you always want to hang around with. And there were other names too that was coming up in my mind and all that. So, you have to sieve and then get the best. And as a Christian, you have to also prayerfully think through this, because from my background, I had never been in any relationship before. So she is my first love, and so
that's right.
But she had already been in one that she had already come out. So I wanted to be really careful with the decision. So I think I was studying her. We could see that there was an attraction. I remember at one point, before I proposed, after my proposal, she told me that there was one particular day she expected that would have been the day, I would have popped the question.
Okay, yeah.
Myself, now I also saw that was the right time, but I was, slow.
How did you miss that? How did you not shoot on that day?
Frankly speaking, I wanted to shoot.
Okay.
But you see, I had never proposed to anyone before. That, back in school, the people laugh at you. This is your wife, this is your girl. Those are the things So, but then, like, somebody you have really gone out proposed. I had never done anything like that before. So when myself that day when she left, now I said, this day, I slack. So there was one time we had like some prayers and all that. I think she led the word. She gave the word, and frankly speaking, as she was ministering the word of God, something just hit me in my heart that this is the one.
Okay.
So from there, I don't know, it was a conviction God just gave me. So I didn't have any revelation or had a dream. I think she also had her own experiences, but for me, it was just something that hit me that this is the one. So from there, I was just calculating to see when and how I was going to pop the question. So I think we went for lectures, and then I came back, visited my friend, and then whilst I was with my friend or I was doing my calculation, today is the day when I go back, I'm just going to hit the question. But I was just praying that, I wouldn't be bounced, because I had played my cards so well, and we had been friends for so long. So I knew there were no, guys in her life. We were, if she wasn't with me, she'll be with her friends, So I realized that the road was actually clear. But, boy also doesn't want to go, and then Charlie, you come back weeping and crying. So I met my friend. He's also now a doctor in Virginia. My cousin, they all knew that Charlie is the person. They were all advocating for me, pushing for her. So I just told them that, Charlie, I'm going to hit the question today. Say, all the best. So I went back to the hostel. When I went to her room. I knocked. Thankfully, there was no roommate
to spoil the party.
Yes, to spoil the party. And it was like a serene environment. And, we had some conversation. And then I just went straight to the point.
Drop the bomb.
I just dropped the bomb. Yeah.
And I also didn't take too long to give him.
Yeah, because you've been waiting for it.
I just knew who he was. He was the right one. So I didn't want to tell him to go and think, for me to think about it. I just had to give him the answer, yes. And one thing I loved about his proposal was that he said he was coming in to get married to me.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
That was scary, Charlie.
Wow.
We were young, we were very young at that time, but I wasn't ready to play. I wasn't ready to, so just went straight forward.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so listeners and viewers, you hearing the story. We want to give you an opportunity to also get interactive, and so go out there, put your comments there. If you have questions, if there are questions you've been having for Dr. Tufor and Hilda for a long time, this is the opportunity. Just go out there and put your questions out there. So Jessica said that ladies never forget dates. Yeah, right, exactly. So 11 December. Prissy, do you have any question?
So we would want to also hear Hilda's part of the journey.
Yeah.
So after the proposal.
So after the proposal, I accepted, and then we knew that now we are advanced to the next stage. So we have to get to know each other better. So I was visiting him. We had to go for meetings together, and we had to attend programs like relationship talks. Listen to those things, read about relationships, get to understand marriage and all those things very well before we launch into it, because we were not going to play with this. We're really serious about the whole journey, wanted it to end the right way. So we had to prepare ourselves prayerfully. I remember we had to set dates that we'll pray. We have the Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yes, we had to go there and pray. Yes, once a week, and we had fun. We were single but going steady, but we made sure that we enjoyed that stage of our friendship too. Because yes, we knew that obviously this is God's plan for us. It gave us so much joy knowing that this is the right person that I've been looking for. I had been in a previous relationship, and I know what I felt. It wasn't a pleasant one, but I knew that after this one, there shouldn't be any other. This is the right guy. He's taken all those, points that I was looking out for in a prospective husband. So I was very excited about it, and that was it. But it took a while for us to get married.
The journey really took long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It took us a long time,
like 9 years to get married.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It took us 9 years.
What would you say was the reason? Was it because you wanted to really get established in life, or you wanted to know each other better, or you just were not ready? Because 9 years is
it's a lot of, and I wouldn't want to recommend 9 years for anyone. If God doesn't give you the grace, it will not survive. So it was a mixture of everything that you are like talking about. So like right after school, national service. She was posted to BA for her national service. I was still in Accra. So that would be like a whole. I remember around that time I even attended your wedding right after school. I remember. So my friends, Crespo, and everyone knew about this. And I'm sure people were like, these people, what is happening after school? Like we've not heard of them. But what really happened was that she was posted to be for national service. I was in Accra. So after national service, I get a job. I start working. And then she has this principle that she can also get married when she doesn't have a job, you know. And you remember at the time, you know, the late at Mills, there was embargo and employment and all that. It was really difficult for her.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't really,
especially in my area.
yes, she for those in the natural resource management, she was not really getting a job, and she really wanted to get a job before, you know, we move forward and all that. It took her quite some time, but at all that time we were still meeting. You know, we had dates. You know, she visits me.
Yeah.
I also like visited her home, met her parents. You know, so at least the parents knew that I am the one in her life. So it was really clear from the word go.
Yeah.
And we are also very engaged in church activities. So, for instance, we're all in the Church of Pentecost, and I was made an elder at a very early age. And once I was made an elder, they trust a new English assembly into my hands to start English assembly in my district. So my hands were like really, really, you know, occupied. So it was like work, church, home, weekends, we met, you know. So that was how it was, you know, until she got a job. And then the time she got a job, you know, man has to also be stabilized financially. So that was also another thing, another factor. But when she got a job and we were almost ready, I had also enrolled in a master's program, and it was not easy. Yeah. So like church, you know, school, work, and then the relationship, it was not easy with biochemistry and all the research and all that. It was really, really, really difficult. So I had to beg her and tell her that, please, you just we've come far. Let me finish this course, and when I finish, we'll marry. So I think in 2017, when I completed my master's program, that same year, we settled down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me find out. So Hilda, back to you. What was the underlying principle? I mean, or what was your understanding of a non-working wife? Why did you really want to be working before you got married?
Okay, so I know that there are some relationships that you have, maybe the man, you know, taking full sponsorship of everything. The woman will be home, maybe taking care of the home and all that, the kids. But I personally, I'm more of an independent person. I'm the first child of my parents, and I've been that kind of responsible, looking after my younger siblings and stuff. So I really wanted to like set a good example for my siblings. And I also wanted to start on a good note in my home, where I can bring something home so that my husband can also add something to what I'm bringing, so we can make a good home. Because I didn't want to always like go to my husband, I need this, I need that, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I really wanted to support what he's doing. Yes. I don't mind people going into relationship not doing anything, if only they will not stay idle. Yes, I'm not into being idle. You should be doing something, even if it's not working, like going out there to do a job, but you should be busy. You should be doing something meaningful, you know, to support the journey that the two people have started embarking on. So that was basically it. I really wanted to support the home, to bring something, to be able to meet certain needs that I don't want to put on him. To be doing always, because sometimes you want to like help out, maybe family, you know, support your family, because I also believe in that. If you are in a relationship or you are getting married, you shouldn't abandon your parents, your siblings. They were part of your life before you launch into marriage. So I should be able to support them if they need it, without telling my husband that, oh, when he also has his family members there, I don't want that whole burden on him. So that was the reason why,
and that was really smart. Go ahead.
And to add to what she's saying, I like I said, I wouldn't advise anyone to like date so long, because it comes with its own challenges. I will not say it was rosy throughout.
No.
There were times of, you know, of despair, because it's like you are busy. You know, you are busy, you are taking care of and the Pentecost structure too is like, you are not a pastor, another is not a pastor, but it's like you are doing almost everything. The pastor is like having an oversight over the assembly, but you
Right.
are the one, especially you, the presiding elder, you are the one like running,
Doing the groundwork.
doing
Yeah.
the groundwork and all that. And what was really a lot on me with schoolwork and all that. So sometimes it was really difficult for us to meet at some point, you know. But then she was also very busy with church activities at her end. So she was also ordained as a young deaconess in the Church of Pentecost. So
Wow.
she was like, you know, also very busy. So I think
that
that
was
really
positive,
but
in
it
the
helped
sense,
us.
because if we were idle, I don't know
And it
what
would
would
have
have
been
happened.
also, yeah. So
Okay,
Yeah.
we were really
we were
busy
really
doing
busy
things for God and
doing
Yeah.
stuff for God
taking
and
care
all
of
that.
our own. Yeah.
And the possibility of other intruders also setting in, you know, especially a young lady, you know, in her church. I'm sure there were also prospective men
Yeah.
who were even, you know, well to do more than I am and ready to settle. And it's like
Yeah.
this young guy who is your mate in school, and you are still waiting for this guy. You know,
Yeah.
it's really difficult. And means to the same thing at my end. A young presiding elder with so many girls in the English assembly, and me
Yeah.
myself, I'm not married. There were times, you know, members in my English assembly started marrying when the whole presiding elder myself hadn't even
Yeah.
married. And you see
Yeah.
ladies, nice ladies there, or you know, in the church,
Yeah.
and it's like you have given somebody your word. You cannot stray. You
Yeah.
know, you cannot stray. So
Yeah.
you know, you need the help of God, and you
Yeah.
need to, you know, keep your head really focused. Otherwise, there'll be so many intrusions. You will start asking so many questions, and if you don't take time, you know.
I
Yeah.
think it was good that we declared our intentions early, because that gave us the focus.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I knew that Isaac was the one in my life. So if any other person comes, I easily let them know I'm occupied. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very easy for me.
And we kept reassuring
Yes,
each other, you know,
yeah.
so that we know that we
know
are
that,
still
yeah,
on
we
the
are
same
still-
page over
yeah.
all
Still be
this.
there.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
good. And I think these are really practical nuggets for all of us out there. I mean, so what I've picked from this, don't have an extended relationship, because it comes with its own
So
challenges. Yeah. And then also make sure you're working as the lady before you get into marriage, so you can support your spouse. I mean, these are really good. Prissy, you have something else?
Yes. So how do I say this? I know for Isaac it will be easier on him. I don't know how easy, but for someone like Hilda, I'm sure you certainly heard gossips about what are you doing with this guy? Like,
Yeah.
why don't you look for another person? Because
Yeah.
to the simple eyes or simple-minded person, it's like this guy is wasting your time.
Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
that
know?
that is what most people would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And what are
even
you waiting for?
So how did you
before
handle
getting
that?
married, you know, you are like, hey, when will it get to mine? You know,
Okay.
you have somebody, but you don't know when the ring will be put on your finger. You are just waiting. I mean, and it's very easy when the person is already working and has met you, you know, may have some financial stability to like push it. But here's the case: we were all students. We just came out. We are now building life.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
so our situation was a bit different, but we trusted God, and the fact that we knew who we were to each other, that was what kept us going. We were very convicted.
Right.
We were not convinced that, oh, let me use myself. If I wasn't convinced he was the one, maybe I would have gotten confused along the line and said, okay, he's not the one, let me just leave him. But because I was convinced, I had that conviction. That was why I kept pushing and pushing and waiting, because I believe that God will reward my, patience. Yes, this waiting moment will not go wasted. So I kept believing, kept praying, I got myself occupied.
Yeah.
Get yourself busy. If you are idle, it's very dangerous. Get yourself busy. And I thank God that at that time we're busily doing things in the house of the Lord. I was a youth executive member. I was working with the Bible study, committee. I had so many things just like he was doing. So we were busy. the little time we got, we just made sure we connect and maybe
Yeah.
visit each other,
Yeah.
go out and maybe have fun or something and then come back home. Yeah. So that was
Wow.
what kept us. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So, a clear free year says presiding. And hey, Adelaide, and hi, Emmanuel. And Emmanuel. Yeah, Emmanuel, you forgot to join earlier, but you can still go back to the video. So there's still more to come. Okay. So this next question has to do about marriage itself.
Okay.
What has been your biggest shock as you got married?
Well, I must say that we are coming from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain things I saw about Isaac, and obviously I cannot know everything about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were certain things that I had to discover in the marriage. Maybe
Yeah.
there are certain part of his temperament that I didn't know that I
Yeah.
had to learn in
Yeah.
the marriage. Okay,
Yeah.
and the way he does his things,
Yeah.
the way he uses his words, the
Yeah.
things that can offend him. There are certain
Yeah.
things that maybe I'll take trivially. It might
Exactly.
mean something to him. So it was in marriage that I discovered him
Yeah.
more. I knew him to some extent
Yeah.
on courtship basis, but that
Mhm.
is not the whole picture. I mean,
Right.
the marriage is where the action is taking place.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
sharing the same bed, we are bathing together, doing everything together. That is when
Yeah.
you see the true him.
Correct.
Okay, the true him. Because for our relationship, we never had any sexual whatever,
Right.
before, because we believe as children of God, we have to stay
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
from fornication. So we
Right.
prevented those things as much as we can by the grace of God. It was in marriage that we did the act for the first time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so it is in the marriage that you discover the true
Yeah.
person. Yes, you may know the person to some extent, but I trust me, you don't know so much. You don't
Yeah.
know so much. Yes.
Yeah.
So in marriage, you get to know what the person likes, the kind of
Mhm.
places they would want to go, the kind of
Yeah.
friends they would want you to keep,
Yeah.
the kind of words they love, to hear all the time,
Mhm.
how
Mhm.
they want their food to be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
absolutely
So
right.
it is in marriage that you get to discover all these things. As for courtship, it's just like, oh, just a chance
Surface
of,
minding.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a
Surface
little
minding.
bit of what the
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
basically it.
Wow, that's a good one. So before I come to Isaac, yeah, Emmanuel Bentumi is saying that's true, sister. I mean, with what you just said, and Stephen also said ladies and dates. Oh, okay. So everyone thinks ladies really keep dates. So, Doc, what would you say has been your biggest shock? I mean, as you got into.
Yeah, for me, I think I would, side with her. I think basically, personally, for our marriage, it's maybe the temperament. I knew it before marriage, but
Mhm.
you see it more in marriage,
Practically.
practically in marriage, like temperament wise, and
Yeah.
yeah, we are all different. We
Yeah.
are all very different. So
Yeah.
she is very calm.
Yeah.
You see her this way. When it comes to relationship, she can talk blah 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 blah. But
Yeah.
but naturally, she is like the quiet type.
Reserved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is very calm. And I will not say I'm very very active, but then the two of us, when you compare us, I'm the one who is more
Loud.
loud
Yeah.
and I'm an action person. I like, I'm on the go, I'm on the move. She's the one who, it doesn't mean I don't think things through, but once I
Yeah.
think things through, I'm like hitting it.
That's
She's the
Yeah.
one who also like to
Take things on a
take
slow
things on a slow motion,
Analyze and then
yeah, analyze and
yeah.
all that. And then sometimes it can be very irritating. Like, you feel like this is
Yeah.
it. Let's
Yeah.
let's get it, but
Yeah.
she's like, why don't we you know, so sometimes this is one of the things we sometimes struggle with. Up till now, we still struggle with it. You know, you never solve all your problems in marriage. You know, you only come with a solution that would help you to be able to mitigate it, but it will still be there. Yeah. So I think it was mainly like temperament issues. Yeah, apart from that, when it comes to food and other things, I already knew she was a good cook after dating for this long time. You know, I was in the right hands. You know, she's really good with food and she cooks well. So that one was not a problem for me at all.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, basically it was on those, you know, character issues. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me share one thing.
Okay.
You know, growing up, I'm coming from a home where we were not cooking 3 times in a day.
Okay.
Growing up, my
10
parents.
or 1?
Growing up, I mean, with my parents, when I was
you
living with
10 times or just 1?
like, I mean, we're not cooking 3 times. You know, the 3 main meals, breakfast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But his home, that is how they were brought up. The mom will cook breakfast, will make lunch. So when I got married, I was not used to like cooking breakfast, lunch, and supper. You know, I was used to like we go out to buy our own meals and eat in the morning or lunch, and then in the evening, that's when my mommy will cook for everyone to enjoy.
So we were not giving money to buy food, buy your lunch, or like everything was cooked at home.
So the beginning stage of marriage, I had to learn to cook that number of times. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was too difficult because I love cooking. I could just switch from my one-time cooking to like in a day. So that was just one of them.
And then like customs in your home, like in my home, which I have brought also in my matrimonial home. You know, our Sunday fufu is like assured. It's like a tradition.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Right after church, my Sunday fufu has been something that, you know, way back. So she has also embraced that culture, and now our little girls, our children too, you know, they know that right after church there's fufu. If you change the food, there's going to be a problem.
So even now you keep to
even here in the US,
it's fufu constant.
Fufu constant on Sundays right after church.
Unless we didn't get fufu at the store or something. Otherwise, if there's fufu, we will make part of weekend meal.
Yeah, Hilda, I think you'll be very glad that this time you just have to knead it.
No pounding, no tim.
Oh wow. Okay, that's great. So Roxanne is saying that food is very important. Yeah. Then Emmanuel is saying this man is like me. Then Star Stell is saying that Doctor is an eagle, Mrs. is an owl personality. Then Emmanuel is saying you have to cook to save money. Oh God, Emmanuel is saying fufu is very important after church. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. Now I want you to share personally, I mean, when you were talking about the fact that temperament and all, it's not like you get used to it. It's not like it ends. When you were talking, it just came to mind that sometimes we'll be wanting to, and with us, Prissy is also my business partner. I mean, from years back till now. So sometimes we want to take a business decision, and with me, it is let's go for it. I do 1, 2 analysis, let's go for it. Yeah. And Prissy will go like, oh no, then like, oh no, not again. Come on. I mean, it's really frustrating. It never ends. I mean,
it never ends.
Yeah.
Sometimes conflict resolution, you know. Everybody has his or her own approach, you know. Because she is very, you know, quiet and very reserved. When she gets offended, you know, she go off. She just calls in, you know. And she wants to take her time and then come back,
overcome
overcome that, and then she comes back. Me, I'm not also that type. Yeah. So when that happens, then like I feel bad. I want us to talk about the thing and clear the issue. Yeah, but you have to also be patient, and then when she comes back, then you'll be able to talk about the whole thing. But I'm like, Charlie, you said this, I said this. Me, I've not taken the thing personal. Let's go on. Let's talk about it. Let's move on.
Yeah, right.
But she will like quell in, assess everything and all that, and then
that's one thing I like about him.
The
fact that he will make me talk.
Yes. Yeah, because if you are not talking, then it's like I'm losing the battle. So that I can also talk something. Yeah. The silence can really kill.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's in the heat of the moment, it's not so nice, but later you see how beautiful it is and how it works all together. So Steven is saying, interesting couple, God bless and strengthen you, I guess. And Courage is saying that Christ in you, Isaac,
hope of glory.
And so Emmanuel is saying that is my wife for you. So I guess as you were explaining, that is why this is very important, because one key opens so many doors. I mean, you think it's unique to your family, but everyone faces it. Right. Awesome. Prissy, do you have any questions before I come in with my? Okay.
Continue.
Okay, good. Now, we ending. So your final words. I mentioned to you that when the discussion becomes so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet.
Now, what do you think has been a simple line you've heard that has kept your marriage? So, for example, I mean, in marriage, we all get angry, we all get happy, we all get different emotions. But there is something that you've heard somewhere that always keeps you. What is it for you? And I'll come to Hilda as well.
Okay, so to me, okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. When it comes to like conflict, let me start with conflict. My wife is really, really very principled. Sometimes I think like she's like, very prim. So, when you are sure of her of something, she wants you to fulfill whatever you said. She's that kind of person, So if you say you are coming at 2:00, come at 2:00. If you can't come at 2:00, just let her know prior to time that this is the situation. Otherwise, you distort her day or you disturb her plans. For me, I have this assumption that things happen. So far as on a scale of, let's say, 95%, I am always true to my word and I'm always on point. If that 5% happens, I don't care.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care, So I like giving benefit of the doubt. Like always, Charlie, you do this. It was just some 2 occasions, but it looks like she's always like, just let me know if you say this, do it. So when it comes to conflict resolution, like this word, I'm sorry. It's a word that brings everything to settlement. Once you're able to put away your ego, and then you just come out and just say, I'm sorry. You're able to melt her heart again, and then she rebounds. I'm not abusing that word. I'm not trying to abuse it, but that is one thing I have seen about it. That word, that sentence, I am sorry, brings finality to a lot of like the rifts and quarrels at home, and she's easily forgiven. She easily forgives. So that sentence is good is good to resolve conflict. And I also learned from my dad. So my parents have been married for over 40 something years old. Okay, by
Whoa.
something, yes. So they are, yeah, maybe if I'm not exaggerating, maybe like 48, 40, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So my dad would never stretch his hand on my mom. I never saw them until we grew up. When they saw that we had grown, and each of them would start complaining. You see what your mother did. You see that because they know we are growing and we can.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a point I even told my friends when I was in uni that I have never seen my parents fight. Little did I know they had their own,
Yeah.
in-law quarrels and all that.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from my dad.
Wow.
He's very gentle with women. Sometimes I see it's my mother who is, rattling her mom. I said, "Quiet," So I think I learned that from he. He didn't sit us down to tell us, but learning from him, like from
Yeah.
afar, silently, it
Yeah.
has also shaping my life in such a
Wow.
way that I'll not stretch my hands on my woman. There are some limits. I'll never go with my wife. And I think those things actually, helps to stabilize the marriage and keep us like going.
Wow. So
Yeah.
before I come to Hilda, I am sorry.
Mm.
So simple,
Yeah.
but so important.
So important. Very
And
important.
so let me read the comments we have here. Quite a number of them came in. Hey, Sayram, good to have you. Then Eddie Chris is saying that Mom and I are really enjoying the interview. We are enjoying it here
That
as
is
well.
her
That's
mom.
my
That is
mom
her
and
mom's.
dad.
Whoa, whoa! We joining your mom and dad to say that we really enjoyed it as well. Then Courage said that we are enjoying. Yeah, Courage, you are speaking for all of us. Then Ngozi says that nice joining you guys. Then Paul is saying that wow, it's an interesting topic and a discussion. I'm learning something here. Then Ngozi says that exactly, Dr. Tufo. I mean, that's the sorry part that he said. Couples should learn to say I am sorry. Yeah. I mean, these are very, very key lessons here. Okay, so Hilda, what is it that you've heard that has kept you through? I mean, all the changing things of life. I mean, that really keeps you going in marriage.
I believe it's I love you. Isaac is
Oh,
not the type that
okay.
when we're courting would often say I love you.
Yeah.
He's more he
Okay.
didn't use the word, but his actions will speak. But I was also interested in him telling me
Saying
I
it.
love.
Yes.
Yes.
You know. And when he got married, he did it. I mean, and when he does it, he backs it with his deeds. Okay.
Right.
So it's not like just literally telling me I love you, but his actions are echoing, I love you. I love
Okay.
you. Okay. In
Okay.
difficult times, in good times,
Yeah.
And he always tells me that I should know he's somebody who speaks, and whenever he says something, it's more or less like it's coming directly from his heart.
Yeah.
He's not somebody who will hurt me. Okay,
Yeah.
he tells me he's not going to hurt me. He's not
Wow.
going to do any bad thing to me. So if I don't understand something, I should just tell him this is
Yeah.
what he didn't do right and stuff. And if it's also on my side, I should be able to tell him that. So I believe that he telling me I love you is something that means a lot to me. Okay,
Wow.
that word, yeah,
Wow.
it's something that keeps me going. I mean,
Wow.
relationship is not rosy throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not rosy throughout. There are difficult times. I mean, life can throw something at you,
Yeah.
but if you get that kind of support from your
Yeah.
spouse,
Yeah.
okay, that
Yeah.
assurance that I love you, that alone can carry you through. Okay, and maybe is this our last word because I want to chip in. Is it
Yeah, chip in, chip in. We will
because
definitely bring you back. You guys should come back. Yeah.
because
Go
I
ahead. Yeah.
the glory cannot be ours. We just
Yeah.
want to let our viewers
Yeah.
and listeners know
Yeah.
that Christ has been the center
center.
of this relationship from the word
Right.
go.
Right.
Christ has been the center. We will
Right.
never take the glory for any reason. God has been everything. We are
Yeah.
the couple that wants to, love God in every way we can, okay? In,
Right.
in terms of our deeds. It's not just by um showing off that, oh, we too we dare or something, but like we are pursuing what God wants us to accomplish
Yeah.
in this marriage. We believe from day one that there was a purpose for which we were brought together, and we must make sure that that purpose comes to pass. So we are always trying to be in tune with God, letting him know what our intentions are, and also ready to hear what he wants us to do and what step he wants us to take. So we are always trusting God, depending on him, depending on him every time.
Right.
I mean, we never take or execute any decision without involving God.
That's always
Never.
Pray through everything.
Yes, every time we pray, we talk to God about it. We make sure that we are hearing right from him and we are executing what he's telling us to execute. So we just want to ascribe every glory to him for how far we have come. We will not say that we are the perfect couple. No. We are just living the purpose for which God brought us together.
That's right.
That is what we will tell our viewers. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So let me go through the comments here. Paul says that putting ego aside and saying, I'm sorry. I like that part. Then Karen says that reference Zala confidence 100%, Isaac. This is where your head should rest. Then Emmanuel says that please, you have to understand, Ghana men, we don't know how to say I love you always.
But we have to learn, It's
I mean, when we move to this place, that word is so common.
Very common.
They use it like something.
Oh my God, it's so common.
Yeah.
We see couples at church, older couples who are married for like 40, 50 years, and they always saying I love you. And I'm like, this is something good that we should learn. Okay. Yes, it's something good and the Bible already says that we should imitate what is good. So as couples, we should be open-minded. We should be open to the things going on. Pick the ones and learn them. It's not about being a copycat. It's just that you want your relationship to blossom. So that's why you are trying to do these things.
That's the reason we will invite you again, because we want to learn more. We want to learn more. Then Paul says that I love this program. Feeling that your partner really loves you and wouldn't hurt you is very interesting. And I think it's one important thing you mentioned, because those reassuring words are very, 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 very important. Very important. Then Ngozi says that generally typical African men don't always say I love you, but their actions show that they love you.
We want to hear.
We want to hear it. We want to hear it. And when you say it, please back it with your deeds.
Right. Then Emmanuel says that I find it hard to say I love you always to my wife, but when it comes to showing her love, 100%. So Emmanuel, learn. I mean, it wasn't easy for someone like me as well when we started out. I mean, because I love you sounded strange.
Yeah, I know.
But it wasn't something, I was hearing from home, blah, 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 and all. But we had to learn it. And let me share a fun fact with you before we leave. This is the time I say I love you to Prissy more.
Okay.
When she makes me angry. Like, when she's getting on my nerves, then I feel like, okay, I love you, so I won't mind you.
Oh my. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so Steven says that I'm sure from today you hear, sir. Okay, go out there, tell all your wives you love them. That is true. So thanks so much, everyone. This has been a really interesting time. I mean, I can't wait to have you guys on again, and we'll definitely arrange that. In fact, we can. Okay, maybe we'll check the calendar and then fit you in there. I mean, quickly, because I feel that there are a lot of things we could still delve into. So thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much, all viewers, and thank you for being with us, staying with us, making it very interactive. And so we would do our best to bring Dr. and Mrs. Kufo again for another episode of Dear Man. So
thank you, Dear Man, and Prissy for having us here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And so viewers out there, if you've still not gone out there to follow our Facebook page and subscribe to us on YouTube, can you diagnose what is wrong?
Maybe Isaac would do better.
Yeah, Isaac would do better than diagnosing it. So go out there, subscribe, follow us, and
Yeah,
then
sure.
you'll get notifications anytime we come in. It's been Vanel and Prissy here. Always remember that no two relationships are the same. Thank you and cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Look at the sources of financial pressures. Now, we've identified two main sources of financial pressure. So the first one being internal, that is internally generated in the marriage, and the one that is without, the externally generated ones. What makes you two happy, and not allow the pressure of having to impress everyone have a toll on your marriage. For example, if what you can afford is a single room somewhere, what matters is that you are happy, basically, and not what will my friends say, what will my family say, what would everyone say, apart from what would my spouse say.
Having kids is like having little bosses at home. They control what you do.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to control kids. Yes,
Yeah.
so it's not easy to handle them.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of pressure, especially if you are not that used to taking care of